This video is sponsored by DJ the Lazy Gamer and Crimson Manifesto. Hey everyone, and welcome to the compilation of the What If Trunks Went Back Too Far in Time, or What If Trunks Raised Goku one-shot series. I've been asked to by a few fans, so I've decided to go ahead and upload a compilation of both the original and the redo featuring SmugStick. However, before we begin, I'd like to show you this screenshot from my analytics. It shows the amount of you currently watching my content that are subscribed versus those of you who are not. Please consider doing so and hitting the bell so you never miss new content from me. Also, leave a like and comment your thoughts and criticisms, as they are all free and effective ways to support my channel and help me make more content so I keep improving as I have from when this first video came out. Also, at the very end, as part of the collab with Smug, remember we also covered what if Goten was born in the future, and there's a call to action at the end of the redo, so I'm going to be leaving that in the video, and you guys should go over onto his channel and watch that after you finish this. But as for now, please enjoy the show. Hey, what's up Plus Ultra fam? It's me, Plus Ultraman, and today we're for a very special what if that was actually suggested by one of the oldest members of the Plus Ultra fam, Prince Barry. Now, Barry had a very interesting timeline to suggest that I myself wanted to explore and had actually suggested to a few of the what-ifers here on YouTube. But Barry asked me, so we'll be covering it here. This will happen in one go, making this a what if one shot, and this is a 7-page script, so we gotta move quick. So you've read the thumbnail and you know what we're talking about. A similar timeline to this has been explored before, where Trunks actually went to the Saiyan Saga in a manga called Wrong Time by Selfie SK, which is amazing. And Broku 72 covered that timeline further because the manga has actually been cancelled. But Barry and I had a different idea for a timeline, where Trunks went back even further, a Dragon Ball wronger time if you will. So what if Trunks went back that far, and how do we make that happen? Well, in Wrong Time, Bulma is reminiscing about Vegeta when he first arrived on Earth, and absentmindedly set the wrong date for the time machine. This makes sense with constant attacks and stress due to having to flee from the androids and make the time machine at the same time. I feel like Bulma would be very stressed out, tired, and easily distracted. So in this timeline, Bulma's just a bit more tired. And another change we're going to make is Trunks' admiration towards Goku is a lot deeper in this timeline. Trunks had a lot of respect for the older Saiyan, but most of that respect was reserved for the future Gohan he lost. So in this timeline, let's make it so that Gohan constantly talks about his father and how big of a hero he was, and how his memory, along with Piccolo, was what pushed him to get stronger. I think that would leave a really big impact on Trunks. We then see Trunks saying goodbye to a very tired Bulma as he climbs in the time machine. Once he blasts off, Bulma looks down to see that she's typed in the wrong coordinates into the navigation system, showing that she's actually sent him a little while after Grandpa Gohan's death and a while before she arrives to meet Kid Goku. Now when Trunks arrives in the past, he realizes that he's missed his mark by about 30 years, and he comes up with a new plan. Remember, this is when we thought that actions in the past would change the future, but we didn't know that Toriyama was working off multiverse theory. Calming down from his panic, Trunks realizes that he can still make this work. It wasn't the original plan, but he is still able to power up Goku and somehow get him the heart medicine that his mother made. He could still come out on top. So, knowing where Mount Paozu was because of talks with his mom and Gohan, Trunks zooms in that direction to find Goku. Once there and finding Goku, Trunks could just tell him that his name was T or something, and that he really just wanted to stay and train to make Goku stronger. All he really has to do is be nice, and I feel like Trunks could really pull that off. Not to mention, Goku has nothing to do. He can only go hunting and training his martial arts so many times before that gets pretty boring to him, so I'm sure he'd be very excited to train with somebody else, especially after losing Grandpa Gohan. Goku would be even more excited when he saw how strong Trunks actually was. Trunks does put on a show, but he keeps his power level low enough to where it wouldn't alert everybody on Earth. Trunks also has the idea of taking the heart medicine to his grandfather at Capsule Corp, where he could then reverse engineer it and mass produce it. This would eliminate the chance that Goku would die from the heart virus. Now, Trunks' new goal, like Gohan's before his, is to get Goku to become a Super Saiyan. If that happens, then Goku would have a major head start, and it would cause a domino effect that could also make the other Z fighters stronger. This also means that Trunks has to explain to Goku that he's a Saiyan and what his tail really means for him, right after yanking it out. Yeah, Goku loses his tail. He'd be way too dangerous if he was stronger than he was in the original series and also had his grade 8 form on top of it. Having this all thought through, Trunks gets very happy at the idea that the androids, when they did come, wouldn't stand a chance. And with all the bases covered and no idea that his timeline would remain unchanged, Trunks decided that he could spend the next year putting his plan to action, and that this plan was completely fine. Now, training with a Super Saiyan level fighter would definitely make Goku leagues beyond his original timeline counterpart, but the entire time isn't spent towards Goku's strength. Trunks first has to teach Goku how to sense and weaponize his ki, which took some time in the original timeline, and would still take some time here. Remember, Goku is still the same, other than some more social interaction. And so, time passes on, and Trunks' plan does work in some regards. Goku is much stronger than he reasonably should be. I wager that he could be in the 50,000s in power level right now. Remember, Goku has a very strong training partner in Trunks. He also has normal times Earth gravity, and would have gotten Zenkai boost slower because he can't just use his Zensu beam. He also had to take time out to learn ki control, which is still lacking very much, mind you. A bit sad that his plan didn't come to full fruition, and knowing that his mother would soon show up, Trunks decides to go in and say his goodbyes to his hero, and tells him to continue training as hard as he could until he caught the Trunks and became a Super Saiyan, and then go even further beyond. Trunks then goes off to Capsule Corp and gives his grandfather the heart medicine, telling him a disease would rear his head very soon, and they'd make a lot of money by being the first to have a mass-produced cure. I feel that's all Dr. Breeze would really need to be convinced to go in and mass-produce the cure. Back in the present, Goku still meets up with Bulma, and the adventure goes almost the exact same, except Goku can pretty much steamroll literally anyone who stands against him. I'd place him about the 25,000 range in power level right now, and he also doesn't have his tail. Either way, nobody can stand against him right now. So, getting the Dragon Balls is very easy. Goku is even able to put the fire out on the mountain by himself, but would still end up blowing it the hell up, just like Master Roshi did. Seeing this, I feel like Ox King would probably tell Goku that he knew his grandpa and that they trained Master Roshi, and would probably suggest that Goku should go and try and train with Master Roshi so he could learn to maybe control that great power he had. The rest of the Dragon Ball saga would be pretty easy. They'd get the Dragon Balls and really have no real competition with the Pilaf gang, and Oolong would probably still steal the wish for a pair of panties. After that, Goku decides to follow up on the suggestion that Ox King had and flies off towards Kame House to see Master Roshi. He probably doesn't need the Nimbus in this timeline, as I'm sure Trunks would have time to fly. Once there, and after amazing Master Roshi and Krillin with the power he had, Goku and Krillin are accepted by Master Roshi and start to train with him. But Goku doesn't really have to train for the tournament the way Krillin would have to. He doesn't have to refine his strength and push past the limits of human beings. He's already well beyond that. He trains with Master Roshi on controlling his power and improving his technique. Seeing how strong Goku is pushes Krillin to get even stronger and stronger himself though. But when it came time for the tournament, they would still pretty much run through the competition. But I feel like Master Roshi disguised as Jackie Chun could still come out on top. If Master Roshi can dodge Jiren, he can dodge Goku and force him to follow the ring. Then, moving on to the Red Ribbon Army arc, that would be a pretty easy W for Goku. Mercenary Tower not, meaning no training from Korin. King Piccolo is also defeated really easily, and since Goku would have killed him in the original timeline, I'm going to say that he is almost killed here too, only to be saved by a surprise appearance by Kami, who seems to have had a plan this entire time. Kami then convinces Goku not to kill Piccolo, and seals his battered other half with the evil containment wave. And after that, there are no threats for Goku to have to contend with, and he can continue to train and try and reach Super Saiyan state, probably going to Korin first, per Kami's orders, and then to the Lookout with Kami and Popo. There, Kami can again help refine his technique more, and he would probably participate in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament still. Skip 5 years into the Dragon Ball Z timeline, and I think Goku would have still married Chi-Chi, and nothing really would have changed, only that Goku might be a little bit more mature, which Chi-Chi might really like, because I feel like Trunks would have wanted Goku to grow up a lot faster, so he'd be more serious. Another exciting aspect is that when Gohan is born, he'd be much stronger, because remember that Goten and Trunks are stronger when they're born because of the SL thing. This means Gohan's potential would be exponentially more than what it was in the original timeline. Now when Raditz arrives on Earth, he finds no Piccolo Jr. This is because Goku beat Piccolo Daimao in their first fight, and then Kami sealed him, which means Piccolo Jr. was not allowed to be born. Raditz would immediately head over to Kami House, sensing the highest power levels in that direction, and once meeting with Goku, and realizing that he had a higher power level than Vegeta, Raditz would have been floored. Hearing this through the scouter intrigues Vegeta, and he and Nappa blast off to Earth. Raditz realizes that his brother is much stronger than Vegeta, and therefore switches his loyalty over to his younger brother. Goku is more than happy to accept his brother. He already knows what Saiyans are and would have probably came to terms with the fact that they were pretty violent people. He's also really happy to have somebody who can pick their brain off of and learn more about Saiyan culture. Trunks wasn't there to understand what real Saiyans were like, but Raditz was, and Goku can pick his brain and hear about these things. He also gets a new training partner, which again is just icing on the cake for him. After a year of travel, Nappa and Vegeta would be very shocked to see how strong the people of Earth were. Remember, Goku's strength has caused a domino effect. This means that a Cyberman is nowhere near the level of Krillin. And Raditz and Goku have been sparring partners for this entire year, so I feel like Raditz would be easily above Nappa right now, and Goku easily above Vegeta, probably in the 30,000s or so. Nappa and Vegeta's only real hope would be the Great Ape form, and remember, Goku would know about it in this timeline, and would not allow it. This means that he's able to beat Nappa and Vegeta without the Kaioken, which is amazing. Beaten down and his pride hurt, Vegeta has a realization that through Goku, he could grow strong enough to defeat Frieza and become the first Super Saiyan. Then he'd come back and take down Goku. Goku doesn't find Vegeta threatening in the least bit, and would welcome a new training partner. So Goku, now with 3 Saiyan training partners, continues to train hard to attain the Super Saiyan state. Vegeta, however, is the only one with a real desire to defeat Frieza. During this, I think Goku would have had the idea to still have Bulma build him a gravity chamber, which the Saiyans would take advantage of. And meeting up, Bulma and Vegeta would still likely be attracted to each other, and I could see Trunks being born early in this timeline. And because I just like the pairing, I think that Raditz and Launch still shack up and have a kid around the same time. So now you have the Saiyans all training and bonding together and finding attachments here on Earth that are starting to kind of change them like they do to Vegeta. Even Nappa, who I doubt would shack up with anybody, finds that the food and the people are really fun to play with and enjoy his time there. So now you have 4 Saiyans training together on Earth with the gravity chamber or even the room of spirit and time. But it can only be used for 2 days, mind you, because remember, when Kami was in control, you could only use it twice in a lifetime. The Saiyans would have grown by leaps and bounds, probably into the high 100,000s, and maybe even the millions for Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta now realizes that he's twice as strong as Frieza, or at least in his first form, because remember, he went to Namek and heard from Zarbon that Frieza can transform. And speaking of, Frieza is not on Namek right now because there's been no mention of the Dragon Balls with the Scouters on. This means that Frieza is just relaxing somewhere, lounging about and conquering planets, but I think Vegeta would know a way to draw him out. He then brings Nappa with him as they plan to set out and go take on the Emperor. Goku and Raditz decide to stay on Earth and train though. Goku would like the challenge, but reaching Super Saiyan is much more important to him, and Frieza is not truly a threat to him at the moment. Raditz, on the other hand, just wants to stay alive, so he'd rather stay on Earth. This works though. Vegeta leaves and tells Goku that as soon as he becomes the first Super Saiyan, he'll be back to kill him. Goku only smiles and waves him goodbye, knowing that Vegeta has changed a lot and bonded with everyone too much to truly come back and kill them. This is not the same Vegeta and Nappa. Nappa and Vegeta then climb into their old space pods and fly off towards the nearest Frieza-controlled planet and start wreaking havoc. The plan is cause enough trouble for the Emperor to where he has to show up and control them himself. Vegeta is however horrified when Frieza does show up and assumes his second form, matching Vegeta in his power. This means it isn't super hard for Frieza to take them down, as he can just take his third form. Before Vegeta is completely obliterated, he warns Frieza of another Saiyan on the planet Earth who truly had become a Super Saiyan, and that he would avenge the Saiyans, right before he and Nappa are snuffed out. Frieza, while celebrating his victory, laments that the planet Earth has to be destroyed. If there are more Saiyans there, he cannot allow them to keep living if they're going to be such a nuisance. So he sets course towards the planet, and Goku with Raditz will be training the entire time. After a few months, Frieza arrives to destroy the planet, and Goku would have felt him long ago because remember, Frieza does not know how to hide his ki. So Goku, a reluctant Raditz, and the rest of the Z Fighters arrive towards where he'll be landing to face him. Frieza, thinking it would be more beneficial to just destroy the planet instead of landing there, forms a huge supernova attack and throws it at the Earth. Frieza is then flabbergasted when the attack is thrown back by a huge Kamehameha. So to reassert his power, he and a large number of his forces land on the Earth, but Frieza is in for another ugly surprise. I imagine Goku at this point in time at maybe a 4 or 5 million power level base. Remember, he has not stopped training since Trunks has left, and Raditz wouldn't be too far behind with around a 1 million power level. The other Z Fighters are definitely strong enough and more skilled than the average Frieza soldier and can take them down pretty easily. Everyone's growth stuns the Emperor and pushes him all the way back into his final form before he begins to retaliate, taking almost everyone out. Frieza then reveals that he has killed Vegeta and Nappa, and he will soon destroy Earth and everything that Goku has ever loved. Uh-oh, Frieza. Big mistake. Remember, this Goku isn't really used to not being strong enough. This is one of the first times in his life that he's ever been outpowered. And much more, he's not so used to death. The only one he can really remember of someone who was close to him is Krillin, and that was a very long time ago. So all this rushing in pisses him off and finally gives him that emotional trigger that he needs to reach the form he's been trying to his entire life. So with a cry of anguish, Goku screams to the sky, and with a golden glow, he becomes a Super Saiyan. and is pissed. And actually, I think Goku is so mad here and strong enough that he might have accidentally pushed himself into Super Saiyan Grade 2, meaning he's far above Frieza, around maybe a 200, 250 million in power level. Needless to say, Goku would then thrash Frieza and give him countless chances to escape the planet without being killed, before finally lamenting and destroying the Emperor for good. After the battle, the Dragon Balls are gathered, and everyone who was killed in this battle with Frieza along with Nappa and Vegeta are revived. So we can now move on to the Android Saga, and I'm sure everyone's been wondering, where is Trunks, and where are the androids? Remember how I said the Red Ribbon Army were a very easy W for Goku? Well, that's because Trunks had instilled a very strong hatred for the organization. He created a situation in which there would be no chance that any Red Ribbons could survive, and if they did, they'd be way too scared of the strong warrior to retaliate in any type of way. This means that Dr. Gero would have either been killed or too scared to ever make androids past Android 8. This also means that there are no androids and no Cell, and if we do get a Cell, he can only be in his imperfect form. As for Trunks, he does not come back to warn for the androids. There's no reason to. The Red Ribbon Army has been destroyed, and the heart medicine mass produced, meaning Goku can take it over the counter. He cannot die of the virus in this timeline. So back in his own timeline, Trunks comes to the horrible realization that nothing he did in the past has changed his own time. This means that he has to kill the androids and restore the Earth to the way it was. Thankfully, I think Bulma and a handful of people would have still survived. They were able to do so for so long, and the androids had no reason to destroy the entire planet, so I imagine they would have still been fine. So, realizing the small amount of strength he gained in his year of training with Goku, he decides to go back in time and seek out the one person he thinks can help him, Master Roshi. Remember, Master Roshi was a big part in teaching Goku to be so strong, and he might hold answers that can help Trunks out. So, Trunks meets up with Master Roshi a little while before he begins to train Goku, but he realizes that there was nothing Master Roshi could really do for him. So, Master Roshi sends Trunks to Korin, and Trunks goes to Korin and convinces him to give him the Sacred Water. This would only give Trunks a 1.3 times boost, I believe. But again, he would know this was not enough for him to take down the androids. So, Korin would instruct him to fly up and beg Kami to train him. So Trunks flies up to the lookout and reveals his situation to Kami, shocking him and Mr. Popo with the fact that he's from the future and his true power. Kami would realize the gravity of this situation and would realize that his role as Earth's guardian should apply to Earths that are even in different timelines. So Kami takes Trunks into the time chamber for one of his 2 days, and there they both get a bit stronger. After this, Trunks uses his last day and emerges strong enough to take down the androids. Kami then realized that with his new power, he needs to seal away his evil half so they can still have control of the Dragon Balls. And then he needs to train Goku, so in case these androids came onto their timeline, they would still have a defense against them. And this is how Kami's plan to seal King Piccolo formed. Trunks then returns to his own timeline, defeats the androids to begin rebuilding his home. Again, we're doing this all in one shot, so we have to speed up a bit here. The next 7 years pass without incident. Goku, Raditz, and Nappa train when Chi-Chi isn't working them, and Vegeta trains constantly. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what Gohan's been doing this timeline, but he hasn't been doing anything. He lives a completely peaceful life, as I feel like he would want to in a situation where he didn't have to fight. He might have tried training once or twice, but realized it really wasn't for him. Fighting is not in his blood like it's in his father's. Goku is fine with that, and Chi-Chi is extra fine with that. But when they have their second son, Goten, he is extremely strong. Remember, S-cells. In this timeline, Goku has way more than he did in the original. So, Goten would be able to go Super Saiyan easily. Goku's also alive, so I feel like Chi-Chi wouldn't be modeling the boy after his father. He'd have his own personality and wouldn't just be Trunks' lackey. Kid Trunks and Raditz's child, who we will call Ranch in this because I do love Moscow X, are older than Goten, and like their dads, like to fight and get stronger. So he still follows their lead a bit. And with Goku alive, he and Vegeta can fight all they want to, keeping Vegeta happy so there won't be a Majin Vegeta in this situation. And speaking of the Majins, Supreme Kai comes down and is able to give the warning about Majin Buu to Goku. Goku would take the warning a bit more serious, as he is more serious thanks to the influence of T, or Trunks, who he at some point recognized in Kid Trunks and sought answers to, leading him to Kami, who revealed the truth of Trunks. So when Babidi and Dabura come, they are destroyed instantly. Super Saiyan 2 was found long ago by Goku and Vegeta. So we also get no Majin Buu in this timeline. And afterwards, life returns to what it was before, until Beerus wakes up and goes to Earth looking for the Super Saiyan God. Like in the original timeline, Goku and everyone else takes him on, and they all get whooped, until Gohan has the idea to summon Shenron and asks him how to summon the Super Saiyan God. And remember, there are more than enough Saiyans to do the ritual, so Goku forms the Super Saiyan God and takes on Beerus, giving him a much better challenge, because remember, there's a stronger Goku in this situation. After this, Goku and the other Saiyans begin to train again with Whis, but Goku and Vegeta are the most fired up about it, and still unlock Super Saiyan Blue. Another big change is Frieza is not revived. I feel like Vegeta and Nappa during their rampage to attract the Emperor would have done a lot of damage, and after being revived, would have went and finished off the job. Even if Frieza was revived, 4 Super Saiyan Blues, or 2 in this case that are much stronger, would have been a moot point. He would have no chance. The Universe 6 tournament is very interesting though, as our team involves Nappa, Raditz, Goku, Vegeta, and Monaka, who never sees combat. Nappa takes on Botamo and Magirna and wins, but gets kicked out by Kaba, and Kaba takes on Raditz, who teaches him Super Saiyan. This causes Vegeta to be much more jovial in the match, and he takes Kaba through the Super Saiyan forms after Kaba had taken out Raditz, before showing him the God forms and winning. Then he gets defeated by Hit, who Goku gets defeated by because remember, there's no Kaioken in this timeline. I think Goku could still befriend Hit, and Hit forfeits to Monaka. The Omni King shows up, leading to the Tournament of Power still being planned. Now we'll slow down a bit for this one because the Goku Black arc is very interesting. The first major change is Trunks' timeline has been completely fixed. Kami, after hearing his story, decided he should help Trunks, and goes into the hyperbolic time chamber after he had sealed King Piccolo to begin training. He also at some point wishes himself to be young again, and continues training until he thinks he is strong enough to where Shenron's power could affect another timeline. Kami then makes a wish to repair Trunks' timeline. This revives everyone who was killed by the androids except Goku, because remember, he died from the heart virus, and the Dragon Balls cannot revive anyone who died by natural causes. This means Gohan and the other Z fighters come back to life, but I feel like most neglect to train. Maybe everyone but Vegeta. This means that when Goku Black comes, he still does a lot of damage, and Trunks still has to come to the present to get help. Goku is extremely happy to see his old teacher after 30 years or so, and is more than happy to go and face Goku Black with him. After they get whooped in return, the plan to seal Goku Black with the Mafuba is put into action, and I feel like Raditz would be the one to learn it, as again, he's smarter and wouldn't be so dumb as to leave the sealing container. So the next time they came against Black, he would get sealed, and when Zamasu appeared, he gets sealed as well. Goku then asks Trunks to start training again because they're going to need his help. There is a tournament coming up in which their universe could be destroyed if they don't win. And speaking of, the Tournament of Power arc has a much different team for Universe 7 this time. This time we have Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa, a young Kami, Tien, Krillin, Master Roshi, and finally, future Trunks and Goten. My reasons for this are, if you have 4 Super Saiyan Blue, you use them. Also, Kami knows the Mafuba and is stronger than Master Roshi, so he could be just as much of an MVP as him. Tien and Krillin are there. Goten isn't the most mature, but he has the most potential out of anyone. He also isn't the same as his original timeline counterpart. Fighting is way more important to him, and fusion isn't a gimmick here. Gotenks is not a resort to them. Plus, there's no real danger of him dying in the tournament, and if he doesn't fight and they lose, everyone dies anyway. So there's no reason for him not to fight. Finally, future Trunks has made such an impression on Goku that he just has to be one of his first picks. I don't see why they wouldn't allow it, as Trunks is from another timeline, but the timeline still takes place in Universe 7. Plus, Omni King kinda made rules up on the fly. Now guys, this WhatIf has been very long, so let's move it on. Major fights for the characters in the Tournament of Power still happen in this timeline, pretty much as is. There's only just more Saiyans and a young Kami. There aren't a huge amount of changes here. We still get perfect Ultra Instinct, yada yada yada. I'm very tired. So yes, Universe 7 does still win, and there is still a wish to restore the rest of the universes.
Last time on Dragon Ball, the brave and powerful savior of Earth's son Goku fought a long and hard battle with a mysterious opponent that destroyed him from the inside out. Leaving the protection of the world to the other Z-Warriors, Goku passes on. Unfortunately, a cybernetic menace rose as one last desperate attempt at revenge from the evil Dr. Gero. One by one, the Earth's mightiest warriors fell until only Gohan and the son of Vegeta, Trunks, remained. Gohan took the lead and began to train Trunks as Bulma worked on the group's last-ditch effort to save the world. Soon, Son Gohan fell to the androids as well, leaving Trunks and Bulma as the last remaining hope for Earth. They make their gamble now. Wager all your hope. What if Trunks went back in time too far?
Trunks and Bulma had finally finished their time machine, and were preparing for Trunks' departure. The young warrior had just installed the word hope on the time machine, as his mother began to...
What in the... Yo, Smug, what are you doing on my channel? I've already done this video, man.
Oh, hey, Os, hello, Plus Ultra, yeah, I know you've done this before, but you gotta admit, that video has a lot of issues.
Well, yeah, my mic quality isn't the greatest, and there's an echo in that video. I left some stuff out, there's a plot hole or two, my storytelling wasn't the best, and it's kind of boring as well, and it was my longest video at the time, so I got extremely lazy at the end there. So I guess a redo isn't too out of the question.
Exactly. So I thought I'd help you fix a lot of those issues. Luckily, you've improved on a lot of stuff since recording that video, so I think redoing it is kind of needed.
Alright, you win. The Plus Ultra fam definitely does deserve better. But scoot over, I'm gonna help you out with this.
Awesome!
Dang it, now I gotta re-edit this whole video. Then again, I guess I already have done it once, so I could just let the editing be a lot more laid back on this one. Ah, screw it, let's just jump in. Oh, and trust me, Smug, I will get back at you for sneaking on my channel. Now, for the sake of time constraints, a lot of what is said in the original video will remain as it was, though I don't see any trouble in changing a few things.
Such as the point in time to which Trunks travels back to. In the original video, Plus had him go back 1 year before Bulma arrives, but I think it would be better to make this change during the 3 years of training Goku went through before the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. Let's say that while Bulma is setting the time period, she may reminisce about the good old days. Maybe a fight with Yamcha. She accidentally then sends Trunks back to the last year before the tournament.
That's not a bad idea, actually. It would mean that we can bypass a lot of stuff, and that Goku is already familiar with the Red Ribbon Army. We'll also use my same reasoning from the original video about why Trunks stays in the past and trains Goku. He thinks it's a linear timeline, and that it will change his own timeline if Goku's is changed. Trunks' goal is still to make Goku into a Super Saiyan. In the original, I showed a Super Saiyan Kid Goku on screen as an illustration, and a lot of you thought that I meant that he'd achieved the transformation already. This is not what happens, though Goku does get a lot stronger, much more powerful than any threat the world is going to throw at him for a very long time. Though Trunks would still have to teach Goku how to use and sense ki, and power him up a lot just to be on the level to spar with him. I also think that Trunks spends a lot of time trying to get Goku to be more serious, to take on the role of protecting the world, and to get him to be a lot less playful and goofy. He probably just lied to Goku and tell him that he was some amazing master, and sensing his power, Goku can't deny this, so I'm pretty sure he'd believe it. Trunks also begins to ask Goku questions about the Red Ribbon Army, like where their bases were, did he kill any of them, questions of this nature. He could possibly take the responsibility out of Goku's hands and completely obliterate the Red Army himself, and all his members. This may sound very dark, but Trunks' future itself is very dark, and with Goku not achieving Super Saiyan as Trunks wanted him to, he wants to make sure that there is absolutely no way the Red Ribbon Army can come back to bite them later on.
Okay then, let's run with this Terminator-style Trunks. Bulma may not exactly know where the bases are, and Trunks may not want to meet her for the risk of maybe erasing himself from the timeline. But Goku does know one person who could help, Ader, who was an android that was part of the Red Ribbon Army. This intrigues Trunks, because Ader could tell him about who his creator is, and maybe how to stop the other androids. So Goku and Trunks go to Suno's village, and speak to Ader. Trunks would be very shocked at how different 18 and 17 were to this android, but he keeps this to himself. After a conversation with 8, he is told about Dr. Gero, and he now has a name to go after. Here is where he and Goku part ways. Trunks tells Goku to never stop training, and to always take the protection of Earth seriously. Goku would have come to really look up to Trunks, but before leaving, Trunks reveals his true power. Reach this, Goku, and surpass it. Then he flies off.
Skipping over the gory details, somehow, some way, Trunks kills every single member of the RR, including Dr. Gero, finding his lab and destroying it with him inside. After this, a lot of what I said in the original video will remain the same. There's no way Goku doesn't win the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, as I now place him anywhere from 2,000 to a little over 3,000. And since he can sense ki, it's possible that he feels an evil energy around Krillin and saves him before Tambourine can kill him. It's even possible that King Piccolo is never released. In the original, I allude to Kami having a plan and being stronger, so it's possible that he proactively reseals Piccolo as soon as he escapes. Then, as his mysterious friend had told him to, Kami seeks out Goku and invites him to train on the lookout. Already much stronger than all his friends, I don't think Goku has any more interest in the tournaments and happily goes with Kami. This would also cause a domino effect of Yamcha, Krillin, Tien, and Chaozu beginning to train even harder to catch up to Goku. And because Goku is not at the 23rd tournament, he and Chi-Chi never reunite. Instead, Goku basically becomes the guardian of Earth in all but name. He just trains on the lookout all the time. But remember, we did reintroduce Sinnoh and Ader in this version, so this could rekindle Sinnoh's feelings for Goku. I think she and Android 8 could seek him out and somehow find where he is. Sinnoh would somehow climb Korin's tower and soon after up to the lookout through sheer willpower alone. If she reaches the top, I think Goku would be very impressed with her and may train with her, soon leading to a relationship between the two. This would be good because I feel like Sinnoh would completely allow Goku to train as much as she wants. As long as they're together, I don't think she'd mind too much. This also means that Goku has an uninterrupted 8 years of complete hardcore training. So by the time Z actually starts, he'll be way stronger.
Other than that change, the majority of what Plus Ultra said in the original video is the same. Trunks realizes he hasn't changed the future and returns to the past. He trains with Master Roshi, having been impressed with how well Goku could fight. The Kame style was much more technical than what Gohan had taught him. He then goes and climbs Korin Tower and drinks the Ultra Divine Water. In the original video, Plus Ultra states the wrong kind of water. After this small boost, Trunks goes up to the lookout to speak with Kami. This happens before Goku goes up there, mind you. There, he explains himself to Kami, and the two train in the Room of Spirit and Time together. This makes Trunks and Kami way stronger, and makes Kami powerful enough to upgrade Shenron. This Shenron would be able to complete multiple resurrections of the same person, and grant more than one wish. And his wishes grow powerful enough to affect other timelines. Trunks returns to the future, way too powerful for 17 and 18 to even try to fight, and after destroying them, Kami gathers the Dragon Balls to wish himself young again, as with his new power, he would take over training for Goku and the other warriors, for threats that Trunks had warned about. He then uses his second wish to repair Trunks' timeline. There could have been more wishes at this point, but Kami was done.
From here, time passes, and like Smug said, pretty much everything I said in the original video will stay pretty similar. The Saiyan saga all the way up to the Frieza saga happened the exact same as the original video, and I never mentioned what would have happened to King Cold in that original video. But I imagine that Frieza not returning from Earth, Cold would probably go there as well, and is probably killed by Goku, who has continued his training since defeating Frieza. Remember in the original video, he actually becomes a Super Saiyan because this is the first time he's actually felt outpowered by somebody in the terms of Frieza. So he wants to at least reach that type of power. And remember that Dr. Gero is dead, so there are no androids in this version. And if Cell does return to this timeline, there is no 18 or 17 to absorb. If he is found, he'd be killed. Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta are turned into good guys like I said, and train with Goku on the lookout, where they all achieve Super Saiyan and soon after, Super Saiyan 2. Once the Supreme Kai and Babidi arrive, doing away with the evil wizard's plot is a very simple affair, with really no hiccups at all. The Saiyans all have a pretty good relationship with each other, so there's no new Majins.
Though Battle of Gods can change, if Buu is not there, then there's nothing really for Beerus to be set off. Vegeta and possibly Nappa would know him, and instruct the people to be on their best behaviors, even if they don't know King Kai. At some point, somebody would have the idea to ask Shenron about the Super Saiyan God ritual, and it is done, with Goku acting as the 6th Saiyan, while Raditz, Vegeta, Nappa, and possibly their children acting as the rest. Goku has never stopped training, and has been training with other Super Saiyan 2 level Saiyans. So while he may not be able to turn into a Super Saiyan 3, Goku would probably be much stronger than his canon counterpart, meaning that Beerus gets a great fight, but ultimately does defeat Goku, though he's pretty tired after the battle, and really respects this more powerful yet humble and serious version of Goku. And remember, in the original video, Plus Ultra had Vegeta and Nappa go on to destroy the rest of the Cold Force. That still happens here, as well as Frieza never being revived.
From here, I'm sure the Saiyans still hunger for even greater power, begin to train with Whis, and attain the God form, and beyond that, Super Saiyan Blue. Champa arrives, and the Universe 6 tournament still takes place. But the lineup here is Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and possibly the young version of Kami, and maybe Nappa. In the original video, I didn't change these fights too much from canon, but the Universe 7 team, save Kami, would flatten the Universe 6 team in this timeline, with very little contest. He would be the only person to really pose a challenge, And because he can't kill, he's even more handicapped. Now, the Omni King would watch, but because this Goku is a more serious version of himself, I think when Beerus tells him not to speak to the Omni King, the Saiyan actually listens, a bit reluctantly, but he does listen.
But we may see the last Zeno in this timeline. In the future, Goku Black launches his attack on the mortals, though there are way more of them in this timeline. Trunks is also a lot more powerful, because he's been training for so long his entire life. And not to mention, his father and Gohan are now alive. With those two having been in the other world for so long, it's extremely possible that they could have gotten to train and reach a new level of Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 3, being much too powerful for Babidi and Dabura's forces, even stronger than Buu himself if he were to be released. With these two fighters and Trunks, as well as the other C fighters who have grown more powerful, Black is in for a lot of trouble. Actually, with this situation, it's possible that the Mafuba and the C fighters of Goku's timeline may not even be needed.
Actually, I think that's the way we should go. Trunks begins to train with Vegeta and Gohan, pushing his own power to heights he never dreamed of. And by the time Black arrives, he is able to push himself into Super Saiyan 3 as well, after more training with the Z-Sword, as well as his Super Saiyan 3 partners. These three Super Saiyan 3 show Black no mercy, and without even allowing him to grow stronger himself, end him with a huge yellow beam, made up of 2 Masenkos and a final flash. When Zamasu reveals himself, the future Piccolo, who had been training in Otherworld with Vegeta and Gohan, steps in. He uses the Mafuba, sealing the immortal opponent away. And if you don't agree with this ending, Vegeta and Gohan likely both have learned fusion, and Black and Zamasu could have been defeated by Gogeta, but with an H. This means that there is no introduction of the future Zeno, and Goku has never spoken to the Omni King in the first place, meaning the tournament of power is never thought of. I believe if this were to happen, that eventually the Omni King decides to destroy the multiverse out of sheer boredom. He may spare universes 1, 12, 8, and 5, but other than that, everyone does die.
Though realistic, that's a bit dark, don't you think? While that could happen, let's make that a branch, while the other could be that there is still a tournament just further down the timeline, maybe a few years, or even a decade. If the Frieza Force, like the Red Ribbon Army, is completely exterminated, I'd think that the Frieza Force soldier that helped Rimoro may also be dead. So that old goat may still be imprisoned forever. This is more out of wanting to leave that arc alone until it concludes though. While Broly would remain on Vampa, unless he's found. Paragus would probably have passed away and Broly would just live in peace. Goku and the others would continue to train and attain greater power. They would only be slowed down because there's no threats. Finally, the Grand Priest would appear in front of Goku and declare a tournament, one that would decide which universe would continue existing. But instead of having teams, it would only be one member, the strongest mortal of their universe, and their god of destruction.
Oh, I get you, that makes sense. Because the Universe 6 tournament was won by Universe 7 so easily, Zeno is only interested in seeing the strongest fighters duke it out. That is a very cool idea, Smug. So, Goku and Beerus represents Universe 7 obviously, while Hit, who after such an easy loss to Goku, would have definitely been training harder than ever, and probably have taken some advice from Goku. He would link up with Champa for Universe 6.
Remember that without Kefla, created via the Potara fusion, Hit is considered the pinnacle of strength in this universe, especially this version.
Now, some of these teams are no-brainers, like Jiren the Grey and Belmont would represent Universe 11, while Brienne and Hellas would represent Universe 2, Bergamo and Yinsidra for Universe 9, I guess, most likely Rumshi and probably Murichim, I think that's how you say his name, for Universe 10, but a lot of the others are up for debate, like the person who teams up with Kitella. Would it be Genos, or one of the more tricky fighters in Universe 4? Would Aniraza be formed already, or would someone else fight alongside Mule? I'm interested in what you guys would have to say.
In the end, it may not matter. The team of this stronger Goku as well as Beerus is already very powerful, and I think Beerus would be smart enough to take advantage of his relationship with Universe 6. When the battle begins, he tells Champa outright to team up with him, and they'll use their Super Dragon Balls to wish to bring back the 6th universe. Champa would be hesitant and at first refuse the suggestion, working with Hit to take out some of the weaker universes. Kitella is also taken out easily too. His teammate, whoever they are easily eliminated. Bergamo and Rumshi could also last for a while, but soon they fall as well. Ribrianne's transformation and heals become strong competitors.
But to TLDR this, the match would likely come down to 4 teams and 8 competitors. Universe 11, where Belmont had been lazing around like Ash's Charizard and only attacking if need be, and the currently meditating Jiren, Hellas, and Brienne, though they would be pretty tired. The hefty God of Destruction Champa, and Hit, who had been continuously improving in this battle. And Beerus, as well as this timeline's more powerful and focused Goku, who is also pretty tired himself. Finally, Beerus gives his same proposition to Champa again, pointing to the almighty Jiren, and claiming that he was way too tough for them to beat on their own. The only way of defeating him was together. Champa, though angry, finally agrees and tells Hit to do whatever they say. The assassin then activates his time skip, bringing Goku into it with him. Working together, the two use Hit's uniquely precise attacks and are able to hit the legs of Ribrianne in her huge form, weakening them. As Goku powers up his Super Saiyan Blue form, charging his power to an extreme degree and trying to push beyond his limits, with his power at a brand new maximum, he slams right into Ribrianne, and when time restarts, she falls right over onto Hellas, knocking them both out of the ring and out of existence.
Seeing the alliance of Universe 6 and 7 forming, Belmont only laughs and stands up. He pats Jiren's shoulder and gives him an order. Go all out, and end this, will you? I'd like to take a peaceful nap. He then went up and jumped right off the stage. Jiren's eyes burst open, and his fiery ki begins to boil in the ground of the stage. Beerus realizes that the power is so great that he needs to close his eyes and center himself, trying to clear his mind. At the same time, this power from Jiren begins to awaken something in Goku, and the same divine silver aura begins to shine around him. This is from the idea that Goku doesn't need to be hit by his own spirit bomb to awaken Ultra Instinct, but rather a power similar or greater to his strength, which full power Jiren surely is. You must also remember that Goku has never stopped training. Combat is his life, and his training with Whis would have been nearly constant.
Without even asking for an explanation of what was happening to him, Goku rushes at Jiren, with Beerus following right after him. He begins to try and coach Goku on how to use his attacks while in Ultra Instinct, and soon Jiren's on the defensive, having underestimated the two. But Goku is much too tired and begins to lag behind, and he is caught by one of Jiren's attacks, meaning the power of Ultra Instinct had faded away from him. Seeing an opening, Jiren winds up a punch that could knock Goku right at the ring, but in the next instant, Goku is not there. In fact, he's behind Jiren, looking visibly less tired. Jiren is confused by this, but then he is hit by a quad of attacks that push him to the edge of the arena. Turning around, Champa, Hit, Goku, and Beerus, still in Ultra Instinct, are behind him. Hit boasts that he had pushed his time skip to such an extent that Goku had a long time to recover, and the group planned for that big attack to take him down. Jiren is a bit angry at this, but he attacks once again. Hit tries the same technique, but this time Jiren is ready, and using his speed and predictive skills, counters all 4 attacks easily. But that power from Goku and Beerus reignites completely, and the battle grows even more hectic. Jiren couldn't land any of his blows on them, and Champa and Hit lend support. Small pot shots that impede his progress at every junction.
Finally, the ultimate cross-universe tag move is landed. Dodging a wild swing from Jiren, Beerus catches his attack and begins to use his Cataclysm Orbs to act as mines, further setting him off balance. As Champa runs up behind him, literally running through his legs and flipping him. As this happens, Hit begins to batter him with extremely fast punches that knock out the Gray higher up into the air before wrapping his arms around him to trap him. And finally, Goku powers up as much as possible and rocks his arm back as a silver dragon forms around him. He rams his punch into Jiren's midsection and drills him down through the arena, ending the match effectively.
From here, Beerus and Champa have an argument about who would lose, with Beerus probably tricking Champa in some way and winning. And I think he would decide to wish back every single universe destroying the tournament, probably at the behest of Goku. But as I said, this event likely wouldn't even happen. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this rehash of this old What If. And I hope that Smug learns not to sneak on other people's channels anymore. So to make sure he learns this lesson, I'm gonna go cause some chaos. See ya!
Wait, plus, where are you going? You didn't even say the thing. Alright, I'll do it, I guess. As he usually says, take care of yourselves. And always go beyond. Plus, ultra! Okay, I gotta go see what he's doing on my channel. See ya!